las renovables. También hay proyectos que están tokenizando oro, litio, claro, es decir, todo este tipo de activos. En cine, o sea, en las artes, en cine, en derechos editoriales de libros, en gaming, bueno, en fin. Digamos que hay dos grandes sectores, aquellos que tienen unos activos debajo que pueden ser muy sólidos, como es el sector inmobiliario, y por otro lado proyectos que tienen comunidades muy grandes alrededor y que quieren incentivarlas, como por ejemplo es esto, gaming, sports, bueno, en fin.
A mí me gustan mucho los ejemplos, justo hay ya no solo para financiar, sino para otro tipo de objetivos que persigue la compañía, ¿no? Por ejemplo, la compañía del café, ¿no? Que hizo una emisión o sea, un cliente de Token City que justo hizo una emisión de un token híbrido, ¿no? Porque daba 3 posibilidades, ¿no? Al que compraba el token. Estaba dirigido a su comunidad, ¿no? Y efectivamente, pues, quien compraba ese token, que era el consumidor del café, al comprarlo, pues directamente financiaba a la compañía, pero como ese token representaba los beneficios de la línea de negocio de venta del café, ¿qué iba a querer el comprador del token? Pues que cuantas más personas comprasen el café, más dinero ganaría. Por lo tanto, la compañía indirectamente aumenta en ventas. Se financia y aumenta en ventas.
Sí, se dan muchos circuitos virtuosos de este tipo. Por ejemplo, estamos trabajando con otro de editoriales en libros. Entonces, allí es crowdfunding de venta de libros. Pues te vendo el libro, pero a la vez te hago partícipe de los royalties de la licencia de ventas de ese libro. Entonces, yo quiero financiar, vamos a hacer un crowdfunding y financiar que este libro se pueda editar a la venta. Voy a precomprar los primeros libros, pero eso lo incentivo, pero luego a la vez también quiero ser partícipe de cuando lo compre mucha más gente de esos derechos editoriales. Entonces, las compañías están siendo muy creativas a la hora, digo, de diseñar esos modelos híbridos para hacer a su entorno partícipe de las ganancias de la empresa y luego también de toda otra serie de utilidades de la empresa también.
Bueno, el derecho de gobernanza, por ejemplo, para que tomen decisiones, en el caso, siguiendo con el ejemplo de café, pues qué sabores va a tener la siguiente emisión de café, ¿no? Entonces, se genera ese engagement con la compañía porque el cliente está tomando decisiones que le van a impactar, tokens de utility porque va a tener beneficios o descuentos por creer en ti, ¿no? O sea, ahora mismo hay grandes compañías, o sea, a veces se ve como que Nike lanza ¿no? esos NFTs pues de cara a crear quizás esos engagement, pero compañías muy normales que son las que se están acercando pueden crear verdaderas maravillas a la hora ya no de financiarse, aumentar en ventas, crear y generar ese engagement con la compañía.
Y en todos los lados, quiero decir, por ejemplo, caso nuestro, nuestros inversores constituyó su compañía tokenizada, son un grupo y constituyó su compañía tokenizada en este caso fuera de España, la constituyó. Cuando nosotros le presentamos nuestro proyecto para que invirtieran, lo tienen organizado como una DAO. Lo digo por el tema de la gobernanza.
¿Qué es una DAO?
Explicar lo digo por el tema de la gobernanza porque cada uno de los partícipes de esa red es una red descentralizada. Cada uno de los partícipes tiene su token que le permite votar. Entonces, nosotros pues, nos conectamos con ellos, le hicimos la presentación del proyecto y esa red de inversores, pues al acabar la presentación, cogió su móvil, lo conectó y a través del sistema que tiene habilitado, pues aquí su votación a través de su token para decidir si van a invertir en nosotros o no. Entonces, todo este tipo de sistemas en el que vamos a decir, una organización le da a los partícipes el token que le otorga ciertos, aparte de beneficios, derechos de gobernanza para que puedan participar en nuevas, bueno, por ejemplo, pues la nueva línea de café o la nueva no sé cuánto, o invertimos en esta compañía o no, todo de una manera súper ágil y de forma en la que el titular, digamos que la soberanía de ese token la tiene siempre el inversor y puede disponer de ella y moverla, etcétera. Todo este tipo de dinámicas se están dando cada vez más, como digo, con la imaginación de cada...
Sí, además eso al hilo de toda esa tokeconomía que se genera y bueno, aquí también estudiantes también a explorar esa nueva área porque está teniendo mucho crecimiento y la creatividad además que se genera con la figura de los tokens híbridos ya no es, una promoción, un proyecto inmobiliario y punto. No, a lo mejor puede ser algo más, puede a través de un utility token puede generar Yo pongo un ejemplo. En Panamá recientemente había una zona franca, que fiscalmente tiene una especie de ciudadela, como decimos, una zona franca, con impuestos incluso más amigables que los que puede tener Panamá, que ya son amigables de por sí. Pues se generó, había una pastilla de terreno, tenía una licencia para realizar varios edificios en altura, residenciales, y había un edificio tipo el Polo Digital, el que quería funcionar a modo de incubadora. Pues imaginaos crear un token, un security, bien hilado, en el cual pues cada inversor que invierte no solamente va a invertir en una propiedad inmobiliaria y tener derecho a los rendimientos por alquiler o al exit cuando se venda, sino incluso en invertir en esas compañías a la vez y participar de esa economía, de esos rendimientos que generen. Imaginaos que a lo mejor el inmobiliario se devalúa, pero de las 10 startups una sale un unicornio. Ya recupera. Entonces, hay que dar vueltas ahora, hay que seguir hilando fino alrededor de esos tokens híbridos. Para donde tiene sentido meter gas utility para la comunidad, donde tiene sentido participar de los rendimientos, donde tiene sentido tener simplemente un token que sea un derecho personalísimo, una especie de pasaporte para poder votar en la gobernanza de esa DAO. Y lo que me parece fascinante es unir todo esto en una sola cosa.
Entonces, contarme un poquito qué retos veis, primero, qué oportunidades y qué retos veis a lo largo de este año. No os pido ya de cara al 2024, sino a lo largo de este año que haya encima de la mesa.
Bueno, pues justamente a lo largo de este año concretamente, materializar, digamos, en proyectos reales la oportunidad que brinda toda esta nueva legislación. Es decir, ser capaz de poner a funcionar estos mercados regulados, dotarlos de suficiente movimiento, el hacer partícipe, vamos que la gente pueda, porque la promesa de toda esta tecnología es la apertura y la democratización de la inversión. Es decir, es acercarla. Todas las criptomonedas han acercado la inversión a un público muy masivo, mucho más de lo que... Es decir, la inversión antes estaba muchísimo más limitada a un segmento más restringido de la población. Las cripto han abierto ese interés, esa capacidad de una manera muy sencilla y muy directa de invertir a un público muchísimo más masivo. Ahora de lo que estamos hablando es manteniendo este mismo formato y esta misma tecnología, llevar esa igual capacidad de invertir de forma sencilla y a escala global al mundo entero, pero que en lo que se están invirtiendo son los activos que vemos en la economía real. Entonces, ese reto, en realidad, hacerlo realidad, poner a funcionar estos mercados y abrir de verdad la economía y la posibilidad de invertir a nivel global de cualquier pequeño inversor en el mundo en estos activos, ese es el gran reto. Bueno, eso igual no es este año.
Coincido, o sea, había retail, ¿no? Lo que hablábamos también antes en la comida. Estás, que otro producto a nivel institucional, hay grandes firmas entrando, pero esa posibilidad de un pequeño ahorrador que quisiera participar de la tokeconomía que se genera de la apertura de un centro comercial, en la que solo invierten las ballenas, los grandes, pues poder acceder ahí, ¿no? Con poca ficción, poca variedad de entradas, desde mi sofá a un solo clic. Otro de los retos es mejorar esa experiencia de usuario, ¿no? Hacerlo también que no sepan ni que hay un token detrás, ni que no tienen por qué saber, ¿no? De hecho, en muchas reuniones, o token no tanto, pero cripto prohibido, teníamos que usar palabras como eso, securización, titulización, y al menos nos valida a poder hablar de otra forma, pero sí, todavía son los retos. También el régimen piloto para mí se ha quedado un poco corto, junto con Mica, en algunas cuestiones. Por ejemplo, me gusta ver también las DAO reguladas para que Europa no pierda competitividad frente a otras jurisdicciones, Wyoming, Marshall, otras que está viendo. El tema de los NFTs tampoco se ha incorporado, ¿no? También Mica quedan excluidos. Y el tema de las sociedades limitadas, también me hubiera gustado ver que también se pueden utilizar participaciones que a fecha de hoy no, solo acciones de sociedades anónimas, bonos, deuda, y lo que sería también participaciones de UCI. Entonces, bueno, no son pasos que no van a ser de hoy para mañana, pero que espero que se vayan dando para democratizar la inversión, ¿no?
Vale. En Europa, porque, por ejemplo, que vamos a sacar un poquito la cabeza a ver qué está pasando por el mundo, ¿vale? ¿Qué está pasando respecto a la economía tokenizada en otros puntos del planeta? Claro, por ejemplo, en concreto, el 45% de Latinoamérica está desbancarizado, por lo tanto, la tokenización para ellos es un nuevo canal de financiación, o sea, que ellos puedan tener ese punto de venta a nivel global de ese token para poder financiarse es una revolución. Luego, por otra parte, a nivel de inversión, efectivamente, pues desgraciadamente en varios, pues en muchos casos, por ejemplo, como Argentina, que conforme cobran la moneda, pues totalmente devaluada, buscan activo refugio, compran dólares y les vetan el número de dólares que pueden comprar. Y entonces, esto les permite, por ejemplo, desde el sofá de su casa, con un clic, puede estar comprando un security token que representa los beneficios o la plusvalía de un edificio que está en el barrio Salamanca, ¿no? Entonces, efectivamente, yo creo que en función de los países que vaya resolviendo toda esta tecnología, pues habrá países que evolucionen antes o después. Lógicamente, el marco regulatorio hace mucho, pero contar un poquito vuestra visión, un poquito a nivel global, ¿no? O sea, ¿cómo veis Estados Unidos, Latinoamérica o incluso el mismo Europa, ¿no? Porque tenemos el reglamento europeo, pero también tenemos a Inglaterra, ¿qué es lo que está pasando?
Bueno, a ver, yo lo veo como lo acabas de describir. A nivel global es una oportunidad para grandes regiones del mundo que están desbancarizadas y que tienen a través de esta tecnología pues la oportunidad de invertir en activos robustos y de esa manera crear riqueza para ellos. Es decir, de activos robustos a su alcance para reservar el valor, para invertir, para incrementar su riqueza y todo eso está inaccesible a día de hoy. Entonces, eso lo veo así. Luego, por otro lado, veo también a nivel global, pero y local, lo veo como tendencia de futuro porque a día de hoy, o sea, los jóvenes son totalmente nativos a esta tecnología. Y cuando digo que de alguna manera han entrado en el mundo cripto con toda la naturalidad del mundo y se les hace fácil invertir y desinvertir, de esa manera también están aprendiendo a invertir, están aprendiendo a también ganar cultura financiera, saber lo que representa eso, pues eso, la creación de riqueza, cómo almacenarla, cómo no, dónde invertir, dónde no, cuándo se pierde dinero invirtiendo, cuándo se gana, etcétera. Todos esos ejercicios los están haciendo de manera nativa y va a ser difícil que toda esa gente joven pueda entrar a invertir por los canales tradicionales más lentos, más burocráticos, cuando ya han estado acostumbrados a hacerlo con total inmediatez. Entonces, claro, yo lo veo como que en pocos años esa presión hacia quienes proveen eso, bueno, que quiero decir que va a venir del propio mercado, ¿no? Que todos estos chavales, en cuanto empiecen a tener un poco más de poder adquisitivo, su forma natural de invertir, si pueden invertir en tokens, ¿por qué van a invertir en una manera mucho más tradicional?
O sea, ahí tenemos como dos rangos, ¿no? O sea, el cripto investor, que ya está acostumbrado a invertir en este formato, en criptomonedas, NFTs, y ahora se les abre una nueva, a la hora de diversificar un nuevo activo. Y luego, pues, el ir rompiendo esas barreras, ¿no?, del inversor tradicional a la hora de entrar en este nuevo formato. ¿Cómo lo veis? ¿Qué se puede hacer para facilitar, primero, entender esos conceptos, ¿no? Porque a veces hablamos un poco en chino mandarino y el traspasar esa barrera a la hora de poder invertir en este tipo de activos.
En cuanto a los flujos también, volviendo al anterior y ahora enlazo con esta, los flujos, la verdad que estamos viendo Latinoamérica un potencial enorme, precisamente porque no tienen mucho acceso a las cuentas bancarias, esa inflación desbocada, y además era un paso natural, porque todos estos mecanismos de inversión ya lo hacían de alguna forma. En Estados Unidos, mira, Chicago, Seattle, que fueron zonas muy deprimidas, pues se juntaban con de inversión, mandaban ahí en dólares, hacían flipping de apartamentos, lo invertían. Entonces, que no hacerlo ahora y encima en Europa con un entorno regulado. También está habiendo mucho flujo de proyectos en Estados Unidos con esa regulación incierta y esa persecución de brujas o caza de brujas a cripto, como están viniendo a Europa. Tenemos mucha petición de empresas de Estados Unidos viniendo a Europa y también estamos teniendo muchas empresas de Latinoamérica que también están solicitando y queriendo venir aquí. Y bueno, en cuanto a los nativos digitales, esos hasta los criptobros están ya aprendiendo y viendo, no quieren tocar acciones, quieren tocar lo que es tokens, porque de forma natural entienden que así lo han vivido. Y en cuanto a inversión tradicional, sí es cierto que hay que huir un poco, ¿no? Cuando las interacciones con ellos de toda esta terminología, o por lo menos explicársela, pero es como todo, ¿no? Yo cuando estoy dando una inversión tradicional, lo que hay que explicarle, te voy a ayudar a vender más, te voy a ayudar a ahorrar costes, y hay que entrar por el ahorro de la tecnología blockchain, de los costes operacionales, de la eficiencia, y decirle, oye, tío, es que, con perdón, aquí todas estas comunicaciones con tus inversores para hacerle report de cómo va todo, es que lo tienes en el smart contract, está programado. En cuanto me entra, y volviendo al ejemplo inmobiliario que se entiende mejor, cuando hago un flip de una casa, o sea, cojo una casa para renovar y vender, y lo pongo en alquiler durante 2 años y vendo al tercero, todas esas rentas te van a ir automáticamente a tu monedero. Entonces, si se le explica bien y que tiene un ahorro de costes, que tiene pocas barreras de entrada, que un inversor de cualquier parte del mundo te puede invertir con poca fricción, que puede acceder a un no cliente, un océano azul, porque un inversor tradicional accede al cliente de fiat, de euro, de dólar. Pero aquí también tiene un cliente de cripto que tenía abandonado su océano azul de nuevos clientes y no lo entiende. El empresario bueno lo va a leer y rápidamente, si se lo explica bien, va a entrar.
Sí, yo lo veo también a empresarios, vamos a decir, empresarios tradicionales que vienen influidos por sus hijos. Sí, es como porque veo que claro, tengo toda la experiencia de este negocio y tal, pero es que estoy viendo a mis hijos o a mi hijo que me ha dicho que lo ven operar y conectan los dos mundos, ¿no?
Uh-huh. Bueno, pues vamos a pasar a las preguntas. No sé si alguien en el público tiene alguna pregunta que quiera hacer. ¿Os animáis? ¿No?
Sois tímidos.
Pues o son muy listos y han entendido todo y no tienen ninguna duda, o si no, luego en el turno de networking pues podéis acercaros y hacer todas las preguntas que queráis, ¿vale? Bueno, no sé qué es, por acabar la mesa, vamos, contarme exactamente este próximo mes, vosotros, ¿qué es lo que vais a hacer ya?
Madre mía, pues tenemos muchas cosas que hacer en el próximo mes. Pero para nosotros lo fundamental es, como decía, en el proceso nosotros estamos muy centrados ahora en la construcción de esta infraestructura de mercado, de negociación. Entonces estamos full centrados en hacer eso y, bueno, por supuesto, a la vez pues ayudando a los clientes a montar a cada uno sus propias infraestructuras, ¿no? Pero nosotros muy centrados también en avanzar con las primeras pruebas dentro del sandbox.
Muy bien, o sea, ya en el mercado secundario español, mercado secundario suizo y en una infraestructura tecnológica a nivel global para que las compañías puedan emitir bajo sus marcas propias. ¿Y vosotros, Vicente, en Bicox?
Bueno, pues acompañar al cliente, ¿no?, en todo el proceso, que sienta pues que no está solo, que comprende bien toda la parte regulatoria, que es viable, que los tiempos son razonables a la hora de implementar su proyecto, en toda la parte pues también de financiación, de ayuda, la parte formativa, a través del máster, pues bueno, muy centrado en esas 3 vertientes.
Bueno, pues es un verdadero placer, Yael, Vicente, un abrazo y nada, muchísimas gracias.
Gracias.
Bueno, yo creo que nos lo han explicado tan bien y ha sido todo tan clarito que no han hecho falta ni las preguntas, ¿no? Bueno, pasaríamos ahora a lo que es el segundo panel. Este segundo panel va a ser en inglés, ¿de acuerdo? En este caso nos centraremos en casos reales de uso a día de hoy dentro del marco de la tokenización acerca de diferentes sectores. Para ello, en primer lugar, me gustaría presentar al que va a ser el moderador de este segundo panel. Además, malagueño. Me gustaría que me acompañara aquí Antonio Moreno. Por aquí. Buenas tardes, Antonio.
Buenas tardes, ¿qué tal?
Bueno, Antonio es developer dentro de Chainlink Labs. Y bueno, Antonio, me gustaría que nos contara también cómo se llega a formar parte de una empresa referente como es Chainlink Labs y en qué se desarrolla o en qué consiste tu día a día.
pues se llega por accidente, como siempre, como toda la vida, ¿no? Pero yo soy aquí de Málaga, nací en Málaga, estudié en Málaga, la Universidad de Málaga, provengo del mundo de la informática, de ingeniería de software. Y bueno, hice pues el máster y demás, mi ilusión era ser profesor de universidad. El capitalismo me conquistó y acabé en la empresa privada. Y lo que sí cambió mi vida fue en una empresa que trabajaba en el parque tecnológico muy buena. Me dijeron, oye, ¿te quieres ir a Londres a montar un wallet de Bitcoin? En 2017 fue aquello. Y bueno, pues, ¿por qué no? Era joven, ¿por qué no hacerlo? Por eso digo a todo el mundo que si tiene alguna una oportunidad así que la haga. Me fui allí y de allí empecé a trabajar al año y medio, empecé a trabajar en Chainalysis, no sé si lo conocéis, es una empresa que en el momento que me contrataron pues éramos muy pequeñitos, yo fui el empleado número 100 y bueno, ya dejé de trabajar con ellos después de 4 años, pero éramos 1000 empleados, entonces bueno, sería un crecimiento pues que ha tenido relación con toda la adopción que había en el ecosistema. Yo empecé ahí como programador software, porque era lo único que sabía hacer. Y el último año sí estuve en un puesto muy divertido que se llama ingeniero de ventas, que lo que hace es ayudar a las empresas o a los usuarios que quieran usar el producto, pues a cómo iniciarse. Y desde hace un mes, pues trabajo en Chainlink, de nuevo también en la parte de ingeniería, porque me gusta mucho el cacharreo. Y ahí, no sé si conocéis Chainlink, pero bueno, me da la parte de telemetría, para ver que todos los datos que se están intercambiando entre el mundo on-chain y off-chain, pues que no haya actores maliciosos por ahí intentando modificar los datos. Y eso es todo. Sí.
Magnífico resumen.
Empecé en Inglaterra, pero ya vi que se me estaba olvidando el acento malagueño, así que ya llevo un año aquí y nada, muy bien.
La tierra tira al final, ¿no? La tierra tira. Bueno, pues en este sentido, ya una vez que conocemos a Antonio, me gustaría presentar a los que van a ser los 3 panelistas de este segundo panel. Contamos con Gabriela Roberto Baró, co-founder de NAS21, proyecto centrado en la tokenización de contratos de arrendamiento. Contamos también con Humberto Villanueva, por aquí, CEO y fundador de RealBites, centrado en la tokenización de activos inmobiliarios. Y también contamos con Álex Casas, advisor de Climate Coin, que nos va a contar también un proyecto súper curioso acerca de la tokenización de huella de carbono y también proyectos que contribuyen al desarrollo sostenible y la lucha contra el cambio climático. Así que, sin más, os dejo con ello de nuevo y espero que disfrutéis. Igualmente abriremos turno de preguntas para todos aquellos que queráis realizar algún tipo de consulta.
Entonces, nada, como es en inglés, pues nos va a tocar hablar de otra manera. So, yeah, thank you very much everyone for coming to this talk. I will introduce myself again in English. I will be like a bit more, I will summarize a bit more about my trajectory, but I was born and raised in Málaga. You can notice by my accent. It is not like the British accent. I went to London for 4 years. I was working for Chainalysis. Chainalysis is a company that is helping the companies to comply with the regulation. It is tracking all the funds that are moving on the blockchain. And since 1 month ago, I'm working for Chainlink, which is the interface for on-chain, off-chain data. And I'm very happy to be here. So I was very selfish introducing myself first, but I will start now with Gabriela. So Gabriela is the co-founder for NAS21. I will explain with my words what is NAS21, and then you can go further and deeper on that. So I can imagine myself when I was studying and I was renting my apartment, and you need to sign a paper. I was the tenant, and there is a proprietary who is the owner who is renting the flat to me. This is nowadays on a piece of paper. That piece of paper is up in my drawer forever. The owner has to trust me, and that's why they are asking for enough securities for me to pay the rent. And then I need to pay the rent on a monthly basis, very traditionally, making a SEPA SWIFT transfer. So NAS21 is helping that with the blockchain. So instead of having rental contracts, now we have smart rental contracts. And she's the co-founder, so I'm very happy to be here. Then I have Álex Casas. Álex has been doing many things. He's going to talk about climate coin. But one of the things that he's doing is advising Ethic Club, which is a coffee company for the blockchain, which is helping to fund coffee, the coffee growth in South America. And I really like that company. I have like personal connections with Joan, and I'm happy to have Alex here. He will talk a bit more about Climate Coin, which is a great marketplace in the blockchain for carbon. And final but not last, on the list, I have Humberto. So Humberto is, it is a very special moment for him. So Humberto is launching a new platform called RealBites. RealBites is built on top of Token City with infrastructure of Token City. I think that he's launching his project this week. So it's going live. He will talk about that. So that's why it's a very special moment for him. I'm glad that you chose Malaga for that. And also I like to give a pouch of the personal side. Humberto is a petrolhead. He likes motorbikes and cars, and I really do as well. So we have that connection there. Yeah, so that is everything. Now I have like 4 questions, so we can go back and forth in the 4th question. So we can start with Gabriela. My question is, can you tell me now with the proper words about your project? And overall, like, what is the problem and how are you helping to the people with your project?
Okay, well, thank you everyone to be here. What we do in NASH 21 is to transform the traditional rental contract into a smart contract. And as you listened before, the main important thing is to wake this contract up, because it was awakening in a drawer. And our aim is to make it liquidity. And what we do, that we try to solve, is active this rental contract. How, or the best question is why you have to tokenize your rental contract. In order to you will receive guarantee fluid rent. What does it mean? Is that independently the tenant pays or not, you will receive the payment in real time. You can get the amount in any time in a week. You can claim the payment once a day, once a week, or monthly, as usual. And the other part regarding to liquidity is that you can receive the payment in advance. Until now, 1 year, where you can invest this amount in other things, or you can use it, I don't know, in refurnishing the floor. This is what we do and what we try to do. And one of the other part is we democratize the investment. How? Because now anyone in anywhere can be exposed to the profitability of a rental contract. Now here in Spain, is the purpose is that we transform the rental contract into an NFT. An NFT, a non-fungible token. Because why an NFT? Why we choose this the tool? Because it's a certain tenant and a certain floor. That's what makes this transaction as unrepeatable and unique. That's why we use this token. And the token, the tool, sorry, and the token is put it in our marketplace, and in the marketplace is where met with different investment. But I used to say this is what it happens really, but sometimes it's difficult to, and I think it's one of our challenge as companies to explain all the things to people, the communication. So this is something simply because in a click you can upload all the documents. You don't need to put the NFT. This is what we use to do until now. I think in our companies is we have to support the development of the knowledge of our customers, and perhaps the majority of our customers are not friendly with the Web3, or they don't have a MetaMask. That's why the first time we used to do, I like to say you can explain, or you can get the spaghetti warm, or you can say how the microwave works. And we, at this moment, we want to serve the dish hot.
Thank you very much. And yeah, Vicente was mentioning that in the first panel about the user experience, and that is something that it is still missing in our ecosystem, but it's something that we will work on that. Or, as you said, we will focus on what are the benefits and on how it really works in the cryptography side of the things. Thank you very much. Now, Alex, your project, and how is helping the people? How is changing the people's life?
Thanks a lot first everyone for coming. Love Malaga and so happy to be here. Have you ever wondered why gold was used to back money? It's simple. It was because it had and it has the capacity and the ability to perpetuate the status quo of their holders when a major crisis arrived. That role is now held by the carbon that is not emitted or is captured from the atmosphere. Why on earth would you want to hold gold 3 meters below the water? So our ultimate goal is like to turn carbon, that carbon that is captured from the atmosphere or not emitted to the atmosphere, as a form of money because of our survival. How are we doing that? First, I don't know how many of you are familiar with what are carbon credits, but it's simple. It's what I told before. It's carbon. We all know that we have a problem with the carbon in the atmosphere and with the pollution. And when you reduce the quantity of carbon that you're emitting, or you capture that carbon, you generate an economic right. Okay. Nowadays, that economic right has been historically stored in off-chain registries as a form of digital certificate, in fact, but really dumb digital certificate. Okay, so in the same way that, for example, the property of a real estate lives in a register, in an official register, the property of carbon credits resides in this kind of very isolated and not connected registries. So what we are doing is to provide a way to securely transform that dumb digital certificates into smart digital certificates that represent that carbon credits. Why? Because once you can make those digital certificates smart, you can access, like, for example, all the decentralized finance world in something that we are starting to call climate finance. We want to democratize climate finance and to provide, like, business of funding for all the people that are healing the planet, like indigenous communities that don't even have a bank account, that can receive funding from people to continue their work for healing the planet by reforestation, protecting biodiversity, and all the ways that we have. And the way that we are doing it is really simple, and I would invite you, because we have just released our beta testing, our platform, the real product. You can access it in beta.climatecoin.io. And in fact, ClimateCoin is a token that represents a carbon credit of high quality. This is another debate. I don't want to come here, but there are like lots of different kinds of carbon credits. And In fact, our dream, our vision is that someone that, for example, in Brazil is protecting an enormous amount of land but doesn't have access to funding to monetize and to have fairness on their work, can receive like crowd lending from people like you and me in exchange of a return. This is not philanthropy. It's not that I don't believe in philanthropy, but when you align incentives and you make philanthropy like a win-win situations for everyone, it's like a better win-win for everyone and things run faster. It's like, at the end of the day, it's like putting financial incentives to the decarbonization of our planet. And let me put, and I finish a little example. People that is now like owner of those credits in the off-chain world, now they are facing like, okay, if I want to pay my operative costs, I have to sell these carbon credits that I already generated. But, oh, carbon credits are rising in price. I don't want to sell them. What if I can convert them in a token, make them a collateral for receive funding, and give security to my investors that I will return the payment, so I don't have to sell my credits, but on the other hand, I'm accessing to liquidity to expand my operations. So this is one of the use cases. Another one, and it's inspired in Ethic Hub, is for people that doesn't still have the resources to make that registering of credits, which is a quite expensive process. So what we are doing is like having other people putting the collateral for them in exchange for part of the interest rate that they will pay for that loans that are receiving. And also, and this is more having to do with philanthropy, but like a superpowered philanthropy, is like, imagine when you donate to a green project, wherever, Greenpeace, whatever, you donate, let's say, $100. And you know that $100 is going to be put to use in a whatever cost, but you forgot about your $100. But imagine that you can lend that money. That money will be paid with interest back, but you won't be the receiver. It will come to a common fund to be relent over time with the interest to other project developers that want to access to liquidity. So it's like I always say, the perversion of compounded interest put to serve the decarbonization of the planet. For you, the effect on your pocket is the same. You have $100 less, but you know that those $100 in 1 year will be like 110 that will be lent over to other one, that will be 121 that will be lent over, and exponentially like growing and funding green projects. And to finish, I want you to make the reflection with which I started my intervention. Today, our survival depends on our ability to align incentives to reduce the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you for the explanation. It was very clear and very interesting.
Thanks.
So now, Humberto. So you have been working for L'Oreal, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson for over 13 years, and now you're working for your project, for RealBites. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yes, well, I discovered the blockchain world and the crypto world, and it became very interesting for me. And I partnered with very lovely partners, and we decide to bring to reality a model that can serve the people to convert their savings into investment. Normally, you have your money in the bank, and it's losing value because of the inflation. So if you want to invest in a real estate project, it's very hard because you need a very big amount of money. Or otherwise, if you want to invest in another country, you will need to travel. You will need to pay a lot of expenses to find a proper real estate investment. And we want to provide a solution to bring the technology to serve this democratization that we've been talking about. I think like the technology needs to serve the purpose of increasing the quality and increasing the chances for everyone.
Thank you very much. So now we are starting with the tough questions. I will start with Alex. He has been answering a bit more about why tokenization and why that is helping and it is disrupting. So why we can do certain things that we cannot do with the traditional finance? And those are my questions now. So how is tokenization helping you? And can you do the same without blockchain?
I love it because I always tend, like from the very beginning, I started to work in this amazing technology. I like it to classify projects and use cases and things that we were using before, and blockchain technology allow us to do it faster, more secure, more convenient, without trust, more transparency, blah, 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 whatever, projects that allow us to do things that we were not able to do before. These are the use cases where the real disruption is happening. Projects like Mass21, like RealBites, before this technology, you couldn't like make liquid your asset of a rental contract, or fractionalize the property of a real estate, or in case to make liquid the investment and democratize investment in carbon credits and create an ecosystem around climate finance to which everyone could access. So the exciting part of this is like, and coming to the concrete case of Climate Coin, is that, as I was saying before, the digital certificates in their legacy form are dumb credits. They were like bought by big brokers, not accessible to everyone, kept as an investment. There are like, you don't know how many big investment firms are now like accumulating enormous amounts of carbon credits because they know that the price is going to rise like by amazing amounts. And now when you can like make those credits available to anyone with a wallet that can from any part of the world invest, but not only invest, because the real use case of these carbon credits is not the speculative use case or the investment use case, is that you can easily burn, destroy your climate coins and receive an official certificate of offsetting your carbon footprint. So it's either way, you can hold it as an investment, you can use it in these climate finance use cases, or if you feel bad because you have traveled a lot that year, you have polluted in any way that year, you can grab like 100 climate coins, destroy them, and receive an official certificate from the official registry. It's not Climate Coin who is certifying that, it's an official registry, like saying that you have compensated your footprint for a year. Before that, that was not accessible to people like you and me or the average Joe in any society.
Thank you. It is worth mentioning as well that there is no borders from my laptop.
Correct.
And that is enabling a lot of people. Gabriela, can you do the same with no tokenization? Could you do that with traditional finance or project, or how the blockchain is helping for your project?
Well, I don't think that we exist without blockchain, because our business model is focused on that, and this is the great part. Vicente before says that this is a blue ocean, and I don't know if all of you are part of the real estate or not, but in whatever industry that you are now, the blockchain is a bridge. If you understand and have the capability to see your business and then study the blockchain, you will find opportunities. I have another company in Latin America with tokenized commodities, and that's what we started to do it with a group with different disciplines. One of my partners there is the financial guy. I have been working in the financial industry during some years, and then I worked for an exchange in Latam. And the other was specialized in the field. It's not a field. How do you say? El campo. In the forest. No. in the countryside. Okay, but they are producers. Well, the wheat, the corn, the soya, that's what we tokenize there. And this is amazing because we awake these contracts that the producer recently received a payment 6 months later than they delivered the soya and put it in a ship to China. So this technology is great to insert liquidity into markets that you cannot do it in other way. And now in our field, in the rental contracts, it's magnificent because it's something that they were not thought before, and it was not be possible without this technology, because I cannot pay the school of my children with soya, but now with a token of soya, it's possible. Or a teacher inside of Argentina, in some villa there, can get a piece of soya, and they live into the ecosystem of the field. So that is amazing. I support you in order to understand your business and try to understand the blockchain, how this technology impact, and it's an incentive to you to create new business models, because this technology opens your mind to get a better piece in the cake of the profitability of an industry.
Thank you. Your company has a use case that is a stake to rent, right?
Yes.
So I don't know if you have experienced some time going to London for the very first time, but you have like a difficult moment that is you don't have a job, and you don't have a house, and you don't have a bank account. And it doesn't matter really at the very beginning the amount of money that you have here in euros, but when you go to the owner of an apartment, they will say, okay, show me your payroll. And you don't have a payroll because you don't have a job. But when you go to search for a job, they will ask you, give me your address, but you don't have an address because you don't have an apartment. And that is quite difficult, and that's why the easiest manner to go to another country is within a company, because the company will help you with the address and everything. NAS21 has a way of, if you have enough money to pay 6 months rent, why not lock in that money?
You only need
three. Okay, only 3. Lock in that money so that the owner can see the money on the blockchain, and they can allow you to have the apartment and get a property. So that is for me something that is really cool, enabled by the technology.
Yes, I suffer for that here.
Yeah,
the same.
It's also happening in Spain.
we create this basically thinking in our
From your own pain, right?
From our own pain, yes.
So now Humberto is going to talk about tokenization. For me, it's really cool because, I mean, I'm from Malaga. So imagine my grandparents, parents, when I start to work, getting my salary, they start to say you need to invest in properties. And you see like the entry point for the properties is quite high, and even more nowadays in Malaga. So Humberto, can you help us with that?
Sure, thank you. I think this is really important, that we're all used to the investment in real estate because our grandparents did it, our parents did it, but maybe we cannot, because this generation is very hard to buy a real estate property, and even harder buy one just for investment purposes, because for that you need to already have the first one sold. So what are we doing is opening this possibility to everyone. Like first of all, you can participate of a real estate investment from 100 euros per token, which is the minimum amount, until as far as you can go. So you can participate as much as you want in the way you can. I don't know, if you have a bonus or you have something, you can increase your participation, and you can increase the share that you're receiving every month for the exploitation of the house, of the flat. But also, we're providing the liquidity to the real estate market, because let's say that you have already bought a house and you need money right now. You will need to sell the whole house to get the liquidity, and that will take you a lot of time, that will take you a lot of money, and it's not going to happen soon enough to fix your problem of money. With these tokens, you can sell the token into the secondary market, and you can have the liquidity very fast, and you can keep doing compound interest. For example, you can earn the benefits of the exploitation of the real estate, and with this earning, you can buy new tokens, so you can have more earnings. You can start building compound interest, and in other ways, you may have to hire a loan with the bank, and you will have to pay every month interest rates and taxes. So by the time you become the owner of the property and you start receiving the benefits of this property, it's going to have 15 years. With our model, you can start receiving the benefits and the earnings in as fast as you get the token.
This is really cool. Thank you. So now the tougher question, and I will start with you.
Okay.
So as you know, I've been working in Chainalysis. Chainalysis is really close to regulation part, and that is because they are more or less tracing the flows of funds, and that is something like really sexy for regulators. So now starting by you, how are you dealing with regulation? What is the landscape right now for regulation in Spain, in Europe? How it is helping or not helping you?
Yeah. One thing that I told to the other members earlier during the dinner is that we are not against regulations. Regulation is needed, because we prefer some regulation than no regulation at all, because we need some frame for the activity. I think Spain is moving towards in a good direction. It's taking time, but it's moving into the right direction. And right now, what we're doing is that we're developing a white paper, which is a document that's pretty much like the investment brochures, the traditional investment brochures. And this white paper is validated by a figure that is called EAFI in Spanish. It's like an investment and finance company. And what they do is that they audit the transaction that I'm offering, the product that I'm offering, and they have they are validated as well by the national, well, in Spanish, the CNMV, yeah, the Spanish Trade Commission. So they are in charge of checking that everything that we are offering, that everything that we are placing in that white paper is true, and that it makes sense, that it has a business sense. And once they agree that it's okay, they stamp you with a how to say, the blessing for the white paper.
Are they proactive? Are they hitting you? Are they helping you within the process, or
I think more than an audit, they become like a partner, like a mentor, because sometimes you start trying to solve things that way, and normally they become from the traditional finance world, and they have solutions that can apply to this new blockchain trend. So they give you some clarity about the way to solve the problems that you are finding when you are trying to build a business like this.
Thank you. Alex, regulation?
Well, it's quite difficult because when we are talking about a global scope of operation, it's like really, really hard to have every regulator happy. And mostly in our case, what we are doing, we are facing like that, for example, in Switzerland, this can be considered an asset-backed token, but in the United States, we don't still even know what's going on. And in many jurisdictions, if you look to any jurisdiction, it's like depending on the way you issue your token, in this case, the carbon credit token, it might be considered in one way or another. So it's really hard. And from the beginning, when regulation wasn't even a word here, because the regulators were like looking to other parts. It's like, and if there is an entrepreneur here like looking, don't wait for regulators. Technology always go faster than regulators. Do your stuff, be ethic, and everything is going to be all right. I mean, it's like we were talking before, Rocío and I, like I remember in the university when studying a little bit of law, that ethics was like the first source of laws, and that's the way to go. I mean, if you are not like doing anything improper and you have like in your ADN as a company, in your DNA, sorry, as a company, not don't be able but can't be able. I mean, it's like you are assuming risks, of course. I don't want to tell people like do whatever you want, don't worry about regulators. That's not my message. But what we have to be aware is that unfortunately, like regulators are slow. Regulators are like having very difficult times to cope with innovation, but not only in blockchain technology, in anything. Now with the hype of AI, it's exactly the same. So regulators, how is affecting regulation? Of course, it's affecting, but for me personally, probably because of my personality or background, it's like do well, be ethic, innovate, do something impactful, and it'll all be fine.
Thank you. Gabriela, regulation.
Well, we are a Spanish company building a global product. We want to play in the Premier League, and there you have rules. And we are trying to make our efforts to talk about our technology, our business model, and our practice, following the best practices in the industry. At the moment, we are not reached regulatory, but we follow MiCA rules. And every step we do, we present everything to the CMO, which is one of the regulators that we have. And this is the part.
I think that it is.
I'm agree with you completely, Alex. We do first, and the legal and the regulations follows. But this is something that we have to build together. And I remember when I started to work in the crypto world, and my chief at this moment says, crypto is like a knife or like a fire. You can cook, you can be near and be warm, but you can be burnt. Or something with a knife you can eat, but someone can, you can die for an injury of a knife. And I think all in a lot of industries happens the same. So this is something that we have to mature with the rules, with the regulation.
I fully agree. Also, I think that is a matter of education. How many of you are feeling that we are lagging behind of everything that is happening in the blockchain? So it is the same for regulators. So they need to cope with every new aspect of the technology, put in a paper, write laws for that. So we can all understand that we need to go together in this trouble. And about bad things happening in the blockchain, that was really close to my spectrum or my job. I always say the same, like now we have ChatGPT. how many of you have tried putting like bad things to ChatGPT? So the first use case is always trying to use the technology for bad things in general, like when the mobile phone started, when WhatsApp, and now blockchain. So it is something that as the technology gets more mature, the use case for illicit activity will be lower and lower. I will end up asking like a quick question that is, where are you now with your project and where do you want to grow in the next, I wouldn't even say next 1 year, because who knows, even if we have another pandemic. And so in the next 3 to 6 months, what is next? We can start.
Okay, we are launching a product that I cannot talk about, but it is very near. In May, we're gonna launch it. And our roadmap is Argentina and Mexico. Our mother, which is Finair, is a guarantee company. I have a lot of operations there. And we are going to launch in Latin America in order to put into the marketplace and another cases or diversify the portfolio in different investment in other countries.
Really nice. Alex, the future, the near future.
Well, if you allow me before, I would like to the prior question to make a point that you can also use the technology to give that trust to people and to make regulators comfortable, for example. And this is also a link to Chainlink, because we are working with them in any tokenization project in which you lock a physical assets to issue a digital representation. You need to have a trust that in our case, original carbon credit is really in the off-chain registry. So for example, we are working with Chainlink to give the proof of reserves, and there is like a function in the smart contract that is interacting with Chainlink oracles that if the amount of carbon credits in the off-chain registry that are connected to Chainlink oracles is not greater than the amount of tokens, the smart contract just doesn't work, cannot issue more tokens. Or also, like, this is not having a lot to do, but in the scope with Chainlink, the price oracles for liquidating loans and so on. I forgot to say that and to publicly thank Chainlink for the help as referent in this market. And about our next steps, as I said before, we launched our beta testing program in beta.climatecoin.io, which I again say I invite you to visit it and try it yourself, touch it and see how easy it is to retire testnet carbon credits. They are not real, let's be clear with that. So we are now, of course, like compiling feedback, polishing the platform, preparing the launch on mainnet, and not only the launch of mainnet, but also the migration to other chains. I mean, this is like, I don't like to be tribalist, but there is like the Ethereum people, the Bitcoin people, the Cosmos people, the Polkadot people, a lot of, and I really believe in an interconnected like blockchain world in which we can fully like grasp the potential of what we can do. So our objective is to start not only going in our original version in Algorand to mainnet, but also start expanding to other networks to access more users, more liquidity sources, and really have the potential to achieve our vision and mission.
Thank you, and thank you for the mention. Humberto, you just started, so the future, the next 3 months, next 6 months.
Yeah, well, we just got our first property tokenized, but we already have identified the next properties. We already have 3 properties in Spain, 2 in Madrid, and 1 in Malaga. And the next step is going international. We're going to tokenize a building in Mexico City. Then we're tokenizing a piece of land in Tulum, in Mexico, which is a very hot real estate market. And then we're going to Chicago and Houston. The idea is that we can provide choices to diversify your portfolio. Like, for example, I want to have a quarter of my tokens invested in Spain, a quarter in Mexico, a quarter in the United States, and you have different real estate markets, so they behave very different. They have different yields. So what we're looking is to create enough diversity so you can choose from different markets. And in the middle term, we are looking to create a partnership with the big real estate companies here in Spain. As Yael was telling, they are also looking to this technology, and we want to partner with the big real estate companies so we can become another selling point, another selling channel for them.
Thank you. Very interesting. So, yeah, I wish I had ChatGPT to summarize everything in 2 sentences, but I don't. So I will try to do my best. Really happy to have had all the conversations with you all. I think that the main point here is how the technology is enabling new products or new, not use cases. It is solving use cases that we had and we didn't have fully solved. How the technology is fully international or even global. So he's making investments in different countries from the very beginning. That will be very difficult for a traditional mindset or traditional setup. And how the immutable fact of the blockchain is also helping regulators to feel a bit more comfortable when we are talking to them. So I think that is the 3 main points of this panel. I really thank you, all of you, for answering the questions. And I think that now we have, Pedro, I think that we have the best part of the talk, that is the beer time. Thank you so much.
Bueno, en primer lugar, antes de pasar, como dice Antonio, a la mejor parte, ¿no? La parte de la cerveza aquí en la sala anexa, bueno, me gustaría saber si alguno de vosotros tenéis alguna pregunta para los participantes. Tenemos un público por allí. Hay un segundillo, acerco el micro.
Don't be shy.
Hello. We know that for the good maintenance of the blockchain technologies, we need different professional profiles. So I want to know, in your particular cases, what kind of professional do you need right now in your companies to make them more interesting to the customers or to the investors? What kind of professional do you need right now?
I think you are all the founders of companies or advisors. What do you see? Where do you see like more need of talent, or what are the missing spots when you are growing your team?
For us, it's very important the hybrid profiles. And when I'm talking about hybrid profile, I refer to people that can do many things. Not specializing in something development and only development, because we need to interact about product, about finance. Perhaps when you go out of the university, you have enough knowledge about a specific issue. But then life forces you to push your limits a little more. That's why we are focused in find these hybrid profiles according to different positions. In human resources, you need negotiation. You need that this person be commercial, and the development can go to an event here, much more technical, and it's commercial and institutional relations, doing marketing, of course. And this is very important to find these profiles that are hybrid and flexible.
Thank you. I was about to say, well, I'm engineer, so what can I say? Engineers, but no. I was about to say that it is really important to embrace the technology, no matter the vertical or the department you are working, but like really embrace what is everything related to blockchain, because I've seen like many times, like in many crypto companies, people not really involved with crypto world, and that is a really difficult contrast there. Why? Imagine you are a seller of Porsche. I really like cars. So the seller of Porsche, and you don't know what is a car or how it is to drive a car. I'm not meaning like to drive a Porsche, but at least know what is a car. So that's why I think that for me it's really important that all of us embrace the technology, learn a little bit. Of course, we don't need to write the new algorithm for cryptography, but like at least touch it, play with it. So that is something.
I think the intellectual curiosity is the main driver, because if you're curious, if you're interested about this technology, you will start looking for news, you will start looking for videos, and your social networks will fill you up with new information, and you will start becoming more prepared, because this is very new. There's no like a traditional education for blockchain. Well, it's beginning to become a traditional education, but you have to search for your own sources of education. You have to be curious about, you have to experience, and the key is not to be afraid. I mean, we all have to learn everything from zero, from the beginning. No one born as being an expert in anything. So it's just a matter of being curious and start doing it.
Thank you. Any other question?
Vale, nada por aquí. Bueno, pues, ¿no hay por aquí? ¿Quién? ¿Teníamos?
Is there a question there? Yeah.
Hello, my name is Paulino. Well, I think that you make a really nice explanation about your vision, but I miss a little bit, talking about the profile that people are looking for at this moment. Of course, everybody knows that it's the developers. The developers in need. People are paying huge amount of money. Just stealing from one company to another. But what is your opinion about to have a good sales team?
A sales team?
Yeah, somebody who can explain the public, the real people that you're looking for, real estate business, environmental, or any other asset, but also in estates, I also, I think it is really important to bring that message. Of course, this place is great, but also, the sales team, somebody who can really sell your project. Thank you.
Yeah, may I come from the sales industry. I used to be in the commercial departments of pharma and L'Oreal and different companies. What I could tell you is that this requires the ability to explain the things very simple, very easy, without the technology complication. As we were telling before, the user experience is becoming more and more important to every project, because we want to make this massive, a geek circulated thing. And the main sale ability that you need to have is to be able to communicate the benefits and to communicate the way of working for a tokenized asset or for a tokenized project.
I come at Chainalysis, my previous company, the best account executives or account managers are people who really understand the technology, because they can speak in a way that the customer will trust. They won't see the person like the typical salesperson. So it will be more as a sales engineer profile-ish, where that person knows a bit. And that's why I was saying, like, it doesn't matter the department. We all need to embrace the technology deep enough to explain things in a very simple way.
In our cases, we have a team, a commercial team, because it's one of our challenge. Our channel. We go to the B2C, which are the owners through digital marketing, but we go to the brokers through our sales channel. And it's very difficult to find in the market the people that are not engineers, but are business people who knows about enough about the blockchain technology. And what we are doing is identify the best profiles. We support a master in DeFi and tokenization in one of the platforms of our partner, which is Tutelus. This is what we want to do, because it's very difficult if they don't know about technology to solve something simply. I am in the technology business for about, a lot of time developing my career here. And I used to practice my pitch in order to simplify, because it's very difficult to bring the spaghetti is hot, but it's very important. What you want to do in a curious way. If you are curious, you will find a way to the right position or the right team. And it's going to be a pleasure if you want to talk.
And regarding that, you mentioned marketing and communication. I always think like those roles needs to evolve as well, because imagine someone really good from marketing trying to get people through TV media, through TV ads, for a blockchain project. That will be impossible, and you should go to Discord, for example, and who knows what is Discord. So that is the way that we need to embrace the technology and change a bit the mindset.
Well, if you allow me, I promise to be brief. Sometimes passion, I'm aware I tend to talk too much, but in this regard, I think we're living a change of power. Your best sales team is your community. It's not more anymore the one-to-many in which there are a sales team that attacks the market to try to get traction to your project, but your community. When you do your homework well, you will find out that your product is being sold and is being promoted by your community that believes in your ethos, believes in your mission, has some skin in the game. Let's be realistic, of course, too. More importantly, in some cases. But I have known projects that have gained immense traction without a marketing and sales team. And that couldn't happen before in other kind of industries. So there are a lot of change of paradigms, a lot of things that we should forget about old concepts and to learn the new way of doing things.
But you have to evangelize.
Of course, but the best evangelizers are your clients and the ones that generate more trust in other people.
So, any other question?
Vale, pues parece que no. Bueno, en primer lugar, me gustaría, por supuesto, volver a dar las gracias a todos y cada uno de vosotros que habéis estado hoy aquí, comenzando por Token City, que sin ello la verdad que hubiera sido bastante complicado tener un evento de tal nivel y con unos participantes tan importantes. En segundo lugar, como digo, me gustaría dar las gracias a cada uno de los participantes, Vicente, Yael, Rocío, Gabriela, Álex, Humberto, Antonio. Muchísimas gracias por todo. También a todos los que nos habéis acompañado hoy aquí, tanto los que estáis presencialmente como aquellos que nos han acompañado en la emisión por streaming. Y bueno, pues como os decía, pasamos ahora el rato también divertido de la tarde, ¿no? A tomarnos algo aquí en la sala anexa y poder charlar de forma distendida entre todos. Y me gustaría que todos los participantes, además de Pedro Camero y también de José Masquerra, vinieran para una fotito de familia, aquí todos juntos en el escenario, y que bueno, pues si queréis podéis ir pasando a la sala anexa. Muchas gracias a todos.